All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are continuing our major market analysis videos looking at the SP-500 and the SPY, its ETF equivalent. Real quick, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, real quick, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. Nonetheless, I sincerely appreciate your time, and I'm very much glad you're here. If you disagree with anything I have to say, please throw it in the comments, all right? I'm not here to pretend I'm perfect, and believe me, I'd rather you tell me I'm wrong than have my money say I'm wrong and lose it in the market, right? So it is a two-way street. So with that, let's get into the details, right? It's a beautiful thing to see, especially in January, right? As this thing, I always say like magic. I feel like I gotta find a different saying, but this thing does a beautiful job bouncing on the 8 moving average, right? There's definitely a little bit of a scare right here, right? But boom, the 20 does its job, right? And that's why I always say, right? It's great. It happens again right here, right? It's great when you're over the 8 and the 20. It's horrible when you're under it because the way it should work is it becomes really hard to fall under it. And then right away, it becomes really hard to get over it, right? So the goal here was basically let's just keep going on the 8, right? And unfortunately, the last few days have been the opposite of that, right? We don't quite close under it, but that's a bad day, right? And this right here is a very disappointing candle, right? Because it looks like it wants to use this 20 and bounce, but it couldn't even get to 50% candle, right? If you're gonna, again, it's kind of the opposite of the green candles, right? But it's still the same 50%. If you're gonna make this much in one day, don't lose that much the next day, right? Come on, hold more than half. It's not asking a lot. If you're gonna drop that much, and you want me to believe it was like an anomaly and we're gonna recover, hey, you better regain at least half, right? Again, I don't think I'm asking for too much. I'm not saying get more than half. I'm not saying get 80, right? Just literally take back half and I'll believe. Don't lose half and I'll believe, right? Depending on green or red, right? Otherwise, what am I looking at here? The best attempt to bounce up couldn't even get 20. It's probably like 10% of the candle, right? Get out of here. That's not a real bounce. That's nothing, right? And I mean, what am I seeing? I'm seeing same thing I actually saw with the Nasdaq, right? The MACD just looking beautiful, just a good uptrend. There's maybe that moment right there, which actually kind of ties to those 3 right there, right? But it never really gets close enough like this to where we're wondering, hey, is it going to go under, right? It's just a real nice uptrend with green over red. It actually doesn't get much better than that. But now we're starting to get close, and it actually I see red over green, right? It looks like an insignificant amount, but yeah, look at the MACD right there. The green's at 50, the red's at 51, right? So that's not good. This is also showing red over green. Obviously super tight, so I'm kind of ignoring the RSI, but yeah, MACD is giving up, okay? RSI is definitely doing nothing. And the last 6 days have been pretty sad volume, right? So I really, really don't see this holding. I pretty much see us coming here, right? It should not lose both lines here. And it's funny that it's the opposite of what I said on NASDAQ, but just real quick, let me flash a couple things. NASDAQ has been living at the bottom of the cluster, right? If I just zoom out, you can kind of see it. All 5 lines lives in the bottom. All 5 lines lives in the bottom. It got over, and now I think it's coming back to the bottom, okay? SP-500 was always living in the middle of it. You know what I mean? It wasn't, it was either on the top, obviously came to the bottom here, but quickly came up. It was the middle. And I think it goes with, hey, I think it'll go back to the middle right here, right? So again, just kind of going back to the last couple months of what we've been talking about, it's still kind of playing out like that, right? And look, obviously I rang the victory bell when they all got over the 200 moving average. It really did put us into a day-to-day bull market, right? But day-to-day isn't as good as week to week, right? And we're still a ways away from them all breaking all moving averages on the week, right? So that's kind of why, yeah, as good as it was, it's still only day to day. And I think we're kind of going back to where we were with them just kind of top Dow Jones, middle SP 500, bottom NASDAQ. But the cool thing is, hey, we're no longer doing it down here. We're doing it up here. And now hopefully we'll be doing it up here, right? Just kind of continuing that uptrend. So not a super, super bullish, amazing market, but hey, we're going horizontal in an upward trend, if that makes sense, right? So again, I really see 39.5. I think that's, yeah, literally, that's actually, is that exactly what it is? At 39.44. I see 39.50 as a pretty realistic target for S&P 500 during the next week. Because again, just one more time, I did talk about these down there. I don't need to do it again. I quickly touched here, right? But again, we've literally been talking about it on the daily, and now this is where we're on the where we are on the weekly, right? We have all 5 moving averages, and it's pretty much it being SP 500 going from the bottom to as close to high as it can. It got to the middle, try to get to the top again, and again, I see it kind of coming to the middle. So really, if it might end up coming, yeah, look, again, 39.50 I think is a very very realistic price, actually. The one thing to say though is if that actually happens, because 39.50 we would lose both the 50 moving average and the 8 moving average. So maybe it won't actually close that low. Maybe it can actually hold 4,000. Because again, it really shouldn't lose both of these lines on the weekly, right? So interesting. We'll see how it goes. Again, though, I still believe we'll come down here. But yeah, that would actually look really bad on the weekly. So we'll see, because I would actually see it would put us under the 8, right? That has me a little worried. You can tell as I'm making the video, things are happening in my head, right? Because I'm trying to wonder where's my money at right now and how do I adjust. But yeah, I don't like the fact that I just did the NASDAQ market and it doesn't look good. Same with this S&P, right? Again, it's good when the major markets are doing the same thing. Unfortunately, it seems like at least 2 of our 3 are not doing well, right? Let me just quickly flash the monthly. Look, it's actually still looking okay, but obviously the beginning of the month started much better, right? It looked like, because look, this 8 has still been a struggle, right? We break the 8, no confirmation. We break the 8, now we're wondering from what went to really good confirmation to are we going to hold 50% candle, right? Like, again, still a lot to go in the month. Where is this 8 at? Look at that. The 8 is at 39.53. I swear I didn't know before I made this video. I sincerely hope you believe that. Ooh, someone's calling me. But yes, again, I really think that goes back to the daily. Let me quickly flash SPX. Oh no, this one was SPX. Sorry, SPY, the ETF equivalent. Let me zoom out a little bit too. But quickly, you should see they look exactly the same, right? Again, this is SPX, the actual SP 500, which is 4,000 a share. This is SPY, the ETF, which is 400 a share, right? And again, same thing. Lost the 8. I actually had this now became a support line, right? So it actually did its job and held the support, right? So that might be a different way to look at the SP 500. Again, though, still looking at the MACD, I'm looking at an uglier RSI and still 6 days of not great volume. I don't think we're holding this. I really don't. I still see us coming down here. And look, 39.5. I'm telling you, people, that's the number. I didn't. I make these videos live and unedited, right? So I promise you. But it brings a smile to my face when the lines give me validation, right? So 39.5, literally 395 here, and 3,950 on the major itself is just jumping out correct, right? So. Again, look, we're on the higher side of all 5. I just kind of see us kind of coming back to the middle, right? So again, 30, yeah, we'll be okay because we were just saying 39.5, right? Yeah, that'll keep us over on the weekly, which is cool, but we would lose the 8 again, right? Yeah, 39.5 would put us here. Okay, again, let's see how it plays out and how the lines kind of do their thing. But yeah, it just, that number seems a lot more magnified as I keep doing this, right? So, hey, I hope you're learning. I sincerely mean it when I say if you disagree with anything, throw it in the comments, all right? Let me know. I promise I'm not perfect. If I was, I'd be doing better things in this video, right? So, hey, I appreciate your time though, for real. Have a great one.